I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. So wait, I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, things cause I'll do anything to make what a reality. Don't let go. I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. So wait, I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, things cause I'll do anything to make what a reality. Don't let go.
Hey, I hope y'all can hear me. My intro messed up on StreamYard, but it was playing on my phone. So I was not going to stop until I had episode 3. I played 1 and 2 and wasn't done. I was not going to stop. So I found it last night. So I screen recorded it. Welcome back. I screen recorded it and I edited it. Now, the part where it always cut me off at somewhere around 10-15 minute mark, we have to, we can't watch it. We can only listen to it. Okay. So we're going to do it that way. And I'm sorry. That's the way I don't know why, like they let you do 1 and 2 and then they like screw you on 3, like, But what I was showing, I paid for, you know what I mean? I paid for a membership. So I don't know, a subscription, but I got it. Let me see what it says. Yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoy episode 3. Here we go. Tell me if you can hear it. Kaz, can you hear it?
Ain't gonna stop nothing over here. So we gonna keep on continue.
It was a phone. He knew someone.
The person that I recorded this from, I dropped their link in the description because his voice is on it a couple of times.
Who was with Ryan Kohberger. That he and Ryan Kohberger went to 1122 King Road on November 13th. I ran background checks on them, and obviously Jeff is in jail. I'm torn between should I pursue this or not.
I think that you should. Like you said, you talked with Steve, and he said that was okay. And maybe you discover something that not even the police have discovered. You see what I mean?
So we're going to need to obviously.
I don't know
look into
why
that. We need
that
to find
was
out
there.
who, what, when, where. What's his background? Maybe you do social media. I'll do background.
Yeah, I'm gonna do social media. That's kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
He has multiple Facebook accounts. Major sketch vibes. Guy's trouble.
There it is. He's in Kuna, Idaho. He's currently in custody. I've got his inmate number and his correctional facility. This guy looks like he is a
Y'all can hear it good, right?
duration. Did he see Steve and say, is this my ticket out? How am I going to use this for my advantage? I've got his correctional facility and the phone number to call. So if you'd like to call the facility here and just ask him how we can schedule visitations with him.
Hi, I am looking to speak to an inmate. I was wondering, how do I go about setting up an interview? Do I say I'm a journalist or just like?
Yeah, I mean, what
matter?
it is we're just.
Ah! I hit the wrong damn button. I was trying to pause it because she says, do we say we're journalists? I think Olivia says that. I'm sorry, y'all. I hit the wrong button. All right. I got it. All right. Here we go.
Maybe if we reached out to him, he'd be willing to meet with us over the phone or by video just to cover a story. That's all.
Can I ask who I'm speaking with?
So my name is Andra.
And who you're with?
Sure. My name is Andra Griffin, and I'm from Florida, and I'm from the Bullhorn Betty channel, and I'm here with Chronicles of Olivia, another channel related to just doing a story.
Is that a podcast?
Yes,
or...
sir. Yes, sir.
So you're with media then?
That's correct. That's correct. And we're independent.
Okay, that's what I've asked you. You kind of beat around the bush there. That's what I'm trying to get out of you.
Yeah.
Figure out who this is. Go to the Idaho Department of Correction website,
Mm-hmm.
and you may be able to email him directly.
You've been so helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, dear Jeff, Steve Gonzalez reached out to us about the story you told him about the possible second person with Brian Kohberger and would like to know if you are willing to speak with us about what happened. Got this, and we're going to send. All right, guys, it has been sent.
Well, and now we wait.
Right now, we just don't know if Brian Kohberger is innocent or guilty because we certainly haven't seen a single shred of evidence that says he's guilty.
Around sort of 2015, when Making a Murderer first came out, people became very interested in crime stories where there seemed to be someone who may have been wrongly accused or wrongly imprisoned. You would think that Brian Kohberger's arrest would have sort of quieted the sleuthing community. I was shocked, but also not surprised to see that it only seemed to energize them more.
So this is what the mainstream media is telling, okay? Is that through here, one person, allegedly Brian Kohberger, walked in there, took out 4 people in 8 minutes, and walked out leaving no blood trail.
You know, it's very easy to go on YouTube and attack the media because the media is not fitting your narrative.
But the mainstream media and law enforcement are telling us, ain't jiving.
People don't want there to be an end because then they would have to sign off.
You guys, it's only Brian Kohberger. It's only Brian Kohberger. You don't know if Brian Kohberger is the only one that did this?
They don't want answers. They just want to continue to stir the pot.
We learned today that prosecutors will seek the death penalty against Brian Kohberger.
So Brian Kohberger's defense team goes, hey, there's other male DNA sources found. in the house.
The prosecution comes back with, oh, we're pursuing the death penalty. We're not going to respond to any of your claims about us not having a case. We don't care if we don't have any evidence. We can fry that motherfucker.
Kaylee and Madison's parents say they want to go full forward with the D penalty on this case.
They said that if he wanted to play God, he needs to meet God.
Justice doesn't have
Kaz, you caught me with a candy in my mouth. I saw this right before I went live and I forgot. The Kansas City Championship Parade, there was a shooting. 10 people injured and 2 people are arrested. I wanted to tell you guys that at the beginning and I forgot. So thank you, Kaz.
a room where you can read books and you can go to school and you can have 3 meals and you can have your vegan diet. To me, that's not justice. Justice is when you leave the planet.
Kohberger, if found guilty, faces the death penalty, which here in the state of Idaho means possibly a firing squad.
There's such a huge possibility that he didn't act alone. What if he wasn't the one that did the killings and he gets executed? You think anybody ever?
Well, that's the best I can do, y'all. So, guess y'all had to deal with it.
Is gonna admit to that? Hell no.
Yeah, what he said. Hey, Ashton.
You're back. You're not going to believe this. Jeff from jail wrote back. No way. Yes, he says, I'm willing to talk to you. You will be the only one I will talk to. So I'm like freaking out here. And I got to tell you that there's been people that our audience swears that there's got to be 2 people. How did one person take out 4 people in 9 minutes? This might be a legit lead. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how to use the system.
You don't know how to
there
use
it is.
shit.
Can you hear me? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Can you?
The person I got this from doesn't like Betty. So, like, if you hear him say something like he just said, I'm sorry, but it was the only way I can get this episode.
Can you hear me now? How are you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm okay.
Steve reached out to us a little while ago and said that you had some really interesting information.
So do you have any sort of ID that says that you're arrested?
I don't know if that's good or not. I'm Bullhorn Betty. Hold on.
Okay. All right. No, that was enough.
Okay.
Well, I guess the quick way to say it was that
See, our Bullhorn Betty is medium.
I used to run security for fentanyl packages that were going wherever. And I was sitting inside of a car, a Cadillac, at a gas station. We got stuck in a snowdrift, and in the snowdrift, my buddy, he gave me 2 bags of stuff to get rid of. You need to get rid of these bags of stuff because it connects me to some pretty hairy shit, and I got rid of the stuff.
And that's what Steve was referring to as the backpack?
Yeah, 2 backpacks.
2 backpacks, okay.
This was supposed to be a burglary, and they got this Range Rover in front of the house, so it's looking like they have money. The burglary was supposed to happen to go get money from the house or to get the car, and instead, all this bad stuff happens.
Can you tell us who the accomplice is?
I'm like,
Okay, so we lost him. That sucks.
But I keep trying to find out what is his angle. Why would he want to
I was
interject
muted.
himself into this case?
I said you don't ask someone in jail who an accomplice is. They're not going to snitch. They're not going to say anything. That might be why he hung up the phone.
I don't know. He didn't talk about Brian at all. It doesn't feel truthful. Seems like there's an ulterior motive.
Truly, this case, I think, weighs on a lot of us. And it is so serious, and there is so many unanswered questions that when someone comes in that like just says something that feels very accurate, it's like, tell us more. You know what I mean? One night, somebody with a literal dot as a username started commenting that Brian Kohberger was being set up. I was like, hi, I don't know who you are, but tell us more about what you're saying.
I was at a party, you know, at the apartments nearby. Around 3 a.m., I heard a really a scream that was like somebody was being mauled by a bear.
I found out Dot was this college student that was at a party right next door that night before and had heard things.
This anonymous person named Dot told Brett on a private phone call that they were friends with one of the surviving roommates that had told police that they saw the killer in the house the night of the murders. The surviving roommate told the police that they were in a frozen shock phase, and that is why they didn't call the police right after they saw the killer.
And then I woke up in the morning to go outside because we're not allowed to smoke in the apartment. I went outside to smoke a cigarette. It was like maybe 8:30, and there were about 5 people congregating outside. They were all passing around a joint, smoking weed.
So Dot is claiming that they saw the...
That girl, that woman made sure she said she was smoking a cigarette, but the other people was passing around a joint. But she made sure to say I was smoking a cigarette.
surviving roommates smoking with a group of friends outside the morning after the murders. And this is before the police were even called.
So you're telling me this girl did not see any blood, did not see anything, walked outside, smoked some weed with her buddies, and nothing's going on, right? If that is the truth, then the PCA is a bunch of crap, which we already knew. Because, A, she's not in a frozen shock phase, obviously. She can go outside and smoke weed. So, plus, allegedly, those kids are laying there dead for 4.5 hours. That's a problem.
Okay, so this is just a theory. But if Dot's story is true, would that mean that the surviving roommate didn't call the police because they were trying to help other people possibly cover up the crime?
They're lying. They have created a narrative to protect something or somebody or themselves.
Would that maybe even suggest that they were trying to frame Brian Kohberger?
I don't think they have anything to do with this because the police cleared them. So I don't think they're involved. I think there's an explanation that we don't know.
Do you still talk to some of their surviving roommates?
Yeah, and a lot of people criticize her, and she was directed, she was coached, she was pressured into like coming to a...
Got about 29 more minutes on this, y'all. Then we can shoot the shit for a bit after this.
Conclusion about things.
We're not
So
shooting
Dot
the
is basically
shit.
saying that the surviving roommate lied to police after being coached by other people.
This is a little bit dangerous territory. Go to the FBI, go to the law enforcement. Don't come to YouTube and spread your gossip.
You know, I had reached out to the FBI. I reached out to Ann Taylor, told Steve, like, I did all I could. It was becoming like too much for me. I need you to like handle it. Turn yourself in. Go to law enforcement. You know, tell them. And I can't force somebody to do that.
Is this you, Dot? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Dot. Nice to meet you. How are you today?
I've had better days.
Okay.
I think the most important thing was like the emotion behind it. This was not just some, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is my story. I mean, this was scared, sobbing, calling me frantic. I mean,
I didn't ever talk to anybody because I wanted for there to be any drama or anything. I thought I was doing something that would be helpful. And now I have all these people thinking these things about me. And like, I just want it all to stop. That's all. Like, if people don't believe me, that's okay. Like, I just want it all to stop.
those are raw, real emotions. I don't believe somebody can fake that.
So I do have to ask you a question. So Brett claims that you know who did it and that they planned it for months and that you were, I don't want to say involved, but at the scene. So
Right.
can you elaborate on that if that's...
Yeah, I can't. I won't. I don't want to speak on that right now.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna refrain from speaking on that.
That's fine.
To protect myself and her.
Okay.
It makes no sense. I mean, it would seem to me that if you needed help now would be the time to go to the authorities with the information. Now, if what that person is saying you said is false, then that's a different story.
Brad has nothing to do with what I'm speaking about right now. I don't understand.
Well, that's the only reason. Wait a minute. It's the only reason you're in here. It's the only reason you're in here is because this girl is saying that you made a statement that's so profound that it would change the entire aspect of this case.
I was terrified when I found out what happened. I was terrified. I legit was terrified. I didn't want anything to do with the town or anybody.
They have the wrong guy then.
Exactly. Thank you.
Story is wrong.
Whoa. Take a minute.
I mean, we're forgetting about that. There's people's lives at stake here.
My life is at stake here too.
I really appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too as well.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, guys, I got a little fucking nuts, but hey, it is what it is. So
The story didn't add up. They kept changing their story, kept changing little details, and most of the time people miss that.
Riley, are you here?
Yeah.
Hi, Riley. How are you?
Hi. I knew that they weren't telling the truth. I knew that they were lying, and I wanted to prove it. I've always been leery of people who are under faceless accounts or pseudonyms or aliases that claim to have information, because in the past I've helped with different cases where, hey, I thought this person had stuff and they seem legit, and it was all BS.
Riley's a professional troll hunter. She's out here exposing frauds, the ones that are lying or trying to insert themselves into certain discussions like this for attention. She loves to debunk fake stories.
Now I'm going to tell you who Dot is, okay? They have fabricated this entire story to help push misinformation that Brian Kohberger is innocent and other people might be responsible. I think people do want relevancy. They want views. They want engagement. They want to be more than what they are. I'm gonna jump off here and listen, but yeah, good to meet y'all.
All right, thank you for your input. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So what happened basically last night is that after my live, Dot went on to Brad Norton's TikTok, and it was a complete circus over there.
The Riley Lively, like, I would love for her to come on right now, and I don't say it to mean any drama, but I would love if she hears this to come on.
Dot got a little cocky, a little confident, and went on a live with Brad Norton and wanted me to get in the box. And was like, Riley, I want to say something to you. I was like, all right, Dot, here's your wish. Riley. Even before I called them out, they were yelling at me.
Are you going to get the funds for a lawyer to protect me when I have to go into witness protection?
Look, no one's outing you.
No.
And a lot of times when you're getting close to the truth, people like that get very aggressive.
Stop running your mouth.
Listen,
you're not going to protect me.
She did a cam slip. She accidentally showed her face, and she is not 22 years old.
They gave themselves away. I'm like, who's this?
Sorry, that was funny. I just had to mute right there.
Like, that's not the person that we thought it could be. I'm like, who is that? When they went live in the chat, they're like, Braden, why are you trolling the true crime and trafficking community? Braden, why are you doing this? Braden, why are you lying about being on campus? And then someone says, shh, don't say his name. Who's Braden?
The stop messed up. They went live and showed their face. Anyone with info, send it to me. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Braden, a longtime troll of various creators across TikTok who spews lies.
I was in shock. I was in shock. Of course, I'm getting a lot of backlash for this, right? However, I go into everything with like good intentions. And again, how am I supposed to verify any of this, right?
If you're putting this out there, you are taking responsibility for that information going out to the public. Whether it turns out to be a lie and it's Dot's fault, you're still responsible.
You say everything about me, you talk about me, you degrade me, you put me down, but I'm not allowed to speak my mind? I'm allowed to speak how I feel?
What about how the families of the victims feel? How do you think the entire community of Moscow feels?
There's a whole thing in this community where these trolls come in to try and get other crime sleuths to recognize them as real, to prove that the true crime community are idiots.
Yeah.
Like, they do it on purpose. And so their goal is to come in.
You're welcome.
I want more debunkers out there. I'm hoping there's like 10 other people are like, oh, I'm good at that too. That'd be cool. Okay, do it. Help me because I need help. Like, I want more people to debunk. And the true crime community is bound to be criminals, right? So for weeks now, I've been doing a deep dive into JLR, which is Jonathan Lee Riches on YouTube. I'm sure you guys, if you guys follow true crime, you probably have heard the name before. JLR has been the boots on the ground guy.
I've been covering this case extensively. I got sources all.
Everybody knows who No Blinks JLR is. Come on now.
All around the case that are talking.
But he's also been sharing anonymous source information.
My sources told me that this was going
and things he alleges are true. But with his questionable past, I don't know if they are.
Just because someone has a criminal past does not mean they are a liar, or you shouldn't believe them. He might have did 10 years, but you know what? That's why he learned how to do all of this. In those 10 years, people change for the good. Like look what he's doing now. He's like try to help our borders, help close our borders and find out what's going on down there. From Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. I'll tell you one thing. I'm an hour from the border and they come through here like it's nothing because Arizona don't care. But anyway, here we go.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches, a prolific serial fraudster.
As you might or might not know, I've been through the criminal justice system myself.
He went to prison for 10 years for wire fraud. I believe they did a phishing scam, which was kind of unheard of at the time.
During the time in federal prison, I would go to the law library. I was trying to appeal my case because I thought my sentence was unjust. Going in the law library, I would read about criminal cases, and I became fascinated.
He allegedly holds the world record for the highest number of frivolous lawsuits filed.
He sued for literally everything and had lost random lawsuits against President Bush, the president of Iran, and Britney Spears. He even sued things like the death.
Did he really? Did he really sue them people?
Philosopher Plato, Black History Month, the Lincoln Memorial, and the Eiffel Tower.
And that just got me hooked onto it and understanding about how the law works.
Jeez.
Sometime later, he went to Sandy Hook pretending to be the shooter's uncle, gave an interview for the news.
One of the things I've learned over the years is the media kind of interviews people at the scenes of things, but they don't fact check who they're interviewing. And that just proved my own point. Like, whoa, these people don't fact check. That just validated it.
Was it right? Was it wrong? I think it was a big middle finger to mainstream media.
Would I do it now? Probably not. You know, that was a phase in my life. It was an era in my life, and it made me grow as a person. I feel like I haven't done that in 4 or 5 years. Like, I've really got away from that area and took more of a serious approach of what I'm doing and stuff like that. Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. But of course, I do get discredited, and people remind me of my past.
We all kind of have a past. My past is not that good. Granted, I wasn't charged with, white collar crimes, and I'm not a felon. I, own and possess a gun. I have a concealed weapons permit, and I can vote. But
I think in this cyber sleuth community,
Damn. They just cut her off like that. Damn.
majority have criminal records.
We all know that con men and social media, with Tinder swindler, we that there's, catfishing and all of these various things. Anytime that there's crowds and money, there will be con men.
Hey guys, so we got another email from the guy Jeff in jail that Betty and I had video chatted with. He claims to know of an accomplice that helped Brian Kohberger the night of the murders.
these people that are really responsible, they're dangerous, and it would be easy for me to be gotten. They also know where people I love live and work. So this scares the shit out of me. Write me a support letter for parole board or money on my books. What does that have to do with doing the right thing? I had some thoughts about reaching out to Nancy Grace just because I figured she would pay someone to go on her show.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I think it's BS. He appeared to want something from this, because why did it take him so long to come forward? I just don't trust people that go to prison, and I don't trust people that have the kind of charges he has and the kind of convictions he has, because I know that they have one goal and one goal only: getting out of jail.
Hey guys, I will tell Steve what Jeff told us and then submit this info to the FBI. I'm
Nobody,
still
Brittany.
going to try and find the alleged accomplice, but I really do sense that.
That is so funny, Jeff. Because just like in a regular day, not on the computer or anything, I'll just bust that way. Come on in, people. Come on. Come on in, people. Come on.
Jeff is lying.
Well, let's do a really quick recap. There is a 99.998% match of DNA from the suspect of Kohberger to the knife sheath. We know that there's phone data that shows his location and timeline, and they even have an eyewitness survivor, one of the roommates.
So what do we still not know in the case?
The motive.
And the exact motive at this point is still unclear.
There has to be more than these girls were just beautiful and he wanted to take them out. There's got to be something.
Is he connected to previous murders? Is he a possible serial killer?
Becca said she does not think this is his first time. Becca, I tell you, in the beginning of this, I would have said you're probably wrong, but I'm starting to think that's something they got to look into. I agree with you.
But I definitely believe he has a lot of victims. I just don't believe that this was his first and his only.
But tonight, I can report to you exclusively that authorities in Pennsylvania, where he was arrested, are investigating potential involvement in other outstanding homicides.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am in Strasburg, Pennsylvania, Monroe County. This location right here, there's a makeshift memorial for Dana Smithers, 45-year-old, who vanished May 28, 2022. Around 11:05 p.m., she was last seen leaving her friend's home, Tara, her neighbor. Dana was recently found in the woods right here.
Was it Brian Kohberger who murdered Dana Smithers?
And it just so happened that he had moved around that same time to WSU. And it's crazy because one of my TikTok followers, she and her sister, I believe, went to school with Brian Kohberger, and they also knew Dana Smithers.
His parents have been subpoenaed to testify in front of the grand jury in Monroe County.
There are reports Brian Kohberger's father, Michael, testified before grand jury at this courthouse in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania today. His mother, Marianne, reportedly testified earlier this week. Kohberger attended DeSales University about 50 miles from Smithers' home, but he is said to have a watertight alibi, absolving him of any role in the mom's death. Stroudsburg police say they have no evidence Dana Smithers' disappearance is in any way tied to Brian Kohberger.
No evidence Kohberger tied to Dana Smithers' missing person case.
Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the notification button. JLR boots on the ground, getting insight of who this guy is. Who is Brian Kohberger?
Is this guy an incel?
Yeah, probably.
Take a look at this guy. Would it surprise you to see him, that face staring in your bathroom window? Because it would not surprise me.
There's some speculation that Brian Kohberger might fit the profile of an incel. And incels are involuntary celibates. They call themselves that. And they congregate on sites like 4chan, where there's just a ton of misogyny and racism. And they really firmly believe that the government should appoint them sexual partners. And if he was an incel, what would have happened, I think, is that he would have seen these young women living these lives. He would have seen Ethan and Xana loving each other, and it would have made him so angry because he felt like they were ignoring him, or that they represented a pattern in his life of women ignoring him.
Maybe he idolizes Elliot Rodger. You know who I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. The misogynistic asshole that murdered women. Think about it. Elliot Rodger, Papa Rodger.
Many people believe Papa Rodger is Brian Kohberger.
I don't know. Maybe.
I did.
You think so?
There have been, rumors that he followed the victims on social media and potentially even messaged one of them.
I think that Papa Rogers was Brian, and then when he went to jail and it stopped, I think someone else picked it up. Who? I wouldn't know, but that's just what I think, in my opinion.
Brian Kohberger follows Kaylee Gonsalves on Instagram. He also follows Maddie Mogan. He does not appear to follow Xana, and Ethan's profile is private.
As this information comes out, I have to tell you more and more, it is looking like, if it's true, he did or was stalking the girls.
Brian Kohberger's behavior at the school had been flagged by Washington State University. Several students complained about Kohberger's rank sexism to the school, caused WSU to conduct a harassment training seminar, according to somebody who had to be part of it. Kohberger was later fired from that job.
Okay, so we just learned that Brian Kohberger was fired from his teaching assistant job.
Scott Bond, who is a serial killer expert and author, said that he thinks that Brian basically reached his tipping point and had to act out these fantasies, which, again, going back to having disciplinary action as a TA, could indicate that he was not quite himself because he was possibly too obsessed. This part is just speculation, too obsessed with the idea of doing these killings.
Brian Kohberger harassed women at Pennsylvania Brewery. The brewery is the Seven Sirens Brewing Company. That's the owner who did this interview. He said that Kohberger would ask women, staff, or customers who they were with at the brewery, where they lived. If the women weren't interested, he would get upset with them a little bit. In one incident, the owner recalled he called an employee you can read that?
The B word at this bar, and the owner had to
come in and put Brian in his place and just deal with him.
Oh my God. They had
So
to
today
put
is
him
the
in
big
his
day that
place.
Brian Kohberger is required to make his statement on his alibi.
Kohberger has an alibi. He does? No, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. It says he'll give it to them whenever he feels like it.
The deadline for court paperwork has come and went, had to be submitted, Idaho time, 5 p.m. It's almost 10 p.m. About to turn in for the night.
Where is this alibi? Miss Taylor, where is the alibi?
I am sure that Berger's defense team is going to try to debunk the pings, the phone pings in some way.
Like, how can you fight his phone pings? Like, where is he gonna say he was?
What are they going to say? He was out shopping?
Well, then I'm sure he has credit card transactions or receipts to prove it. He has nothing to worry about. I need the receipts. And a good defense attorney can take.
No, remember he was out driving around late at night like he always does every night when he can't sleep.
That little bitty shred of something and turn it into a whole new story in favor of the client.
The bizarre new alibi for the man accused of brutally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students, saying he was out driving alone late at night. Kohberger's lawyer says he can't point to any witness to corroborate where he
I don't know,
was.
Julie. That dude is something else.
No, it is not.
This is one of the biggest what the fuck moments of this case.
It's funny, but not funny.
His alibi is that he likes to drive alone at night. And that's like his habit. So no alibi.
They have no defense, so they're just coming up with stuff.
An alibi defense is not, I simply wasn't there at the time. It's you must provide specifically where you were, time, place. Also, if you have any witnesses.
My client likes to drive around at night alone without his phone on. The Kohberger defenders are kind of just fading away.
You got to remember that guy is innocent until proven guilty.
It's hard,
media,
though.
He's guilty and already tried and convicted. Some sites think he's not guilty and he should be released. So it all comes down to the evidence.
The prosecutor has disclosed all of the evidence and information that they have, and it is a lot. They turned over 51 terabytes of data, emails, social media accounts, voicemails, phone recordings, all the things. I mean, that is a lot of information.
The YouTubers and the social media groups created a lot of what is probably in this 51 terabytes. I truly believe the defense will likely take one of these very popular conspiracy type theories and try to develop it through the trial to cause reasonable doubt.
I think what's going on and what happened and what has been happening in that town is a huge, organized, multiple part criminal activity.
I mean, people on the internet will say anything, will offend, will speculate, will come up with theories.
You know what the problem is? Our country, everything's a conspiracy. Okay, they get to talk about it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
But until this trial begins and we're able to see the evidence, hear the evidence, it's impossible to come up with theories that make any sense at all.
Do you think we're going to go to trial in October?
No, we're not going to trial in October. You're going to start seeing delay tactics. They're going to be trying to really delay.
Mr. Kohberger is prepared to waive his right to a speedy trial.
He waived his right to a speedy trial, so now there is a delay, folks.
The trial of quadruple murder suspect Brian Kohberger has been indefinitely delayed. His attorneys requested the delay, saying they need more time to prepare their defense.
Boom.
As of August 23rd, 2023, Brian Kohberger has decided to waive his right to a speedy trial.
his trial will not be happening in October of this year.
I myself am ready to see justice be served, and I'm sure that all of the families are, and everyone close to them. So I can imagine this is very disappointing news.
I can't even imagine the pain that the families are feeling right now, and the fact that they're going to have to wait that much longer to get their day in court and to maybe even fully hear what happened to their loved ones.
It's going to be very hard for all of us to go through that. The families don't want to be in a process that's going to take that long before we see the evidence. You know, we want to see the evidence. We want to know how strong the case is. When do we stop with hiding all these things? I mean, let's get the process going. I mean, there's nothing more painful to the family than just to sit around doing nothing.
These were kids with all of their hopes and dreams and aspirations, and they had family members who adored them. At the end of the day, it's so important to remind people who these victims were.
Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana, they were going to go on to do really special things. They had bright futures ahead of them.
This is a very tragic case that has impacted far beyond the community of Idaho and Moscow. We're all here trying to find answers to something that makes no sense. That said, I think cases like this one show us just how careful we have to be in finding truth.
With an active investigation, there are pros and cons with social media. The pros is getting spotlight to the story. And when you have millions of people talking about it, then more people are going to know about it.
And let's keep this story alive. We can do it.
You know, being interested in true crime is neither good nor bad. It's a human instinct that has been around for, centuries. But if sleuths really do want to help, they should focus their attention on quietly accruing evidence and sharing that evidence with police rather than perpetuating rumors. Many sleuths can cause a lot of chaos.
People get on a roll and get fired up and start doing this, oh yeah, and then it becomes this like angry mob of people with pitchforks.
Cyber sleuthing is here to stay. And
Got
I
about
think
3 minutes
police
left on this,
really
y'all.
need to try to embrace it.
They can fight it all they want, but they're gonna have to realize social media is not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, and you probably want to play in the sandbox nice with me.
I look forward to covering this trial to understand really what
Bullhorn Betty. If we are playing in a sandbox, I am not being nice to you. Just letting you know right now.
police have on Brian Kohberger, whether there was or not an accomplice, whether anybody else knew something.
But for right now, there's no narrative that tells you how this happened. There's no motive.
All I can think is where there is darkness, there is space for speculation.
I guess I was muted when I said that. I said, Bullhorn Betty, if we are in a sandbox playing, I will not be nice to you. Wait, one died? U.S. Security Council about emergency meeting about cyber attacks. They don't do that for nothing.
Holy fucking shit, guys. You will never believe who's back.
The original, the OG Papa Roger account has been reactivated on Facebook.
So a lot of people are now under the impression that Papa Roger is definitely not Brian Kohberger because he's posted something on Facebook since Brian's arrest.
I'm dying right now. Who the F is Papa Rogers? Someone that is Papa Rogers would have to be close enough to the investigation because of all the info that they have, right?
And a lot of people in the comments are saying that it could be JLR. His nose has been in this case right from the get-go.
Do y'all think
Or
that?
if
Hold
law
up.
enforcement, if it is with all the info that they have, it would make sense.
Could have been reopened
They
and
couldn't really
reactivated.
And if you're watching this video, this is the start of something mother effing major.
Do y'all think that Papa Rogers could be JLR? Definitely not me. I don't think that at all. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for watching with no video, just sound. I know it was hard. I wish they had video too, but I didn't even get to watch video. I know it was hard. Please hit that like button. Share this out so everybody can watch it so they can see that our people are not bad. Olivia, JLR, and Betty are not bad people, and this shows them in a good light, in my opinion. So we finished all 3 episodes. There's no more. I was determined to get episode 3 out, and we got it. So I'm coming right back with Adam Montgomery's trial. So I will see you in a little while, but still have a good day.